Hello and welcome. Today we're diving into something that's, well, absolutely essential for making sure our skilled professionals, from the chefs in our favorite restaurants to the electricians keeping our lights on, are actually the real deal. We're talking about vocational assessment.
Think about it. How do you really know that the person fixing your car is competent? Or that the person building a house knows what they're doing? It all comes down to trust, right? And that trust, it's built on a really careful, formal process.
And that process is called vocational assessment. It's the official, structured way we measure practical skills and knowledge where it really counts, out in the real world.
Now, the key phrase I want you to grab onto here is supporting learner development. See, this isn't just some scary test with a pass or fail grade. It's actually a constructive process designed to help someone build their skills and prove their competence. It's a huge investment in making sure we all have a reliable, skilled workforce. So how does this whole journey get started? Well, like any big project, it all begins with a solid plan. This is the planning phase, where an assessor lays all the groundwork to make sure the evaluation is fair, effective, and, actually works. An assessor has this whole toolkit of methods to choose from, and the real secret sauce is picking the right one for the job. A hands-on skill test, perfect for a welder, but a complex case study might be way better for a project manager. It's all about matching the tool to the task at hand. So let's compare two really powerful methods here. On one hand, you've got simulation. This gives people a safe space to practice high-risk skills. Think of a pilot in a flight simulator before they ever fly a real plane. Then, on the other hand, you have recognizing prior learning, or RPL. And this is brilliant because it actually values the skills a person already has, which is a huge confidence booster. But a great assessment isn't just about what you're doing. It's also about the where and the how. The right environment can honestly make or break the whole thing. You want to make sure the only thing being tested is the skill itself, not how well someone can deal with a messy or distracting workspace. So this is what that looks like in the real world. It means having all the tools ready to go, making sure the space is safe and quiet, and, this is a big one, making sure the learner knows exactly what's going to happen. No curveballs, no surprises. Just a clear shot at showing what they can do.
All right, so the stage is set. What's next? Well, now it's time to actually do the assessment. This is that moment where the assessor kind of steps back a bit to observe, support, and of course, evaluate.
Now, this is a very fine line to walk. An assessor's job is to support the learner, but they have to stay within some pretty strict limits. Guidance is one thing, like clarifying instructions or offering a bit of encouragement, but over-assistance is totally different. That's when you start, giving them the answers or correcting their work for them. The integrity of the whole qualification really depends on keeping that boundary clear.
Okay, once the task is done, the analysis begins. The assessor looks at all the evidence and basically asks 4 key questions. First, is this really their work? Second, is there enough of it? Third, does it actually meet the industry standard? And finally, the big one, have they proven that they're competent?
But look, the assessment doesn't just end with a decision. It ends with feedback. And this feedback has 2 really important jobs. First, to celebrate what the learner did well, that builds confidence. And second, to point them toward the next steps on their professional journey. It's all about growth, not just getting a grade. So the practical part is over, but the assessor's job still isn't done. Nope. Now comes the really critical behind-the-scenes work that makes sure the whole process is legit, managing all that information.
Meticulous record-keeping is honestly the backbone of a fair and accountable system. These records aren't just boring paperwork. They're the official story of that learner's journey. They justify the decisions made and provide this clear, transparent trail that protects everyone, the learner, the assessor, and the qualification itself. And because this information is so detailed and often personal, it is absolutely essential that it's protected. We're talking professional ethics here, and in a lot of cases, we're talking about the law.
Keeping things confidential really comes down to these key practices. It means locking filing cabinets, password protecting your files, and only giving access to people who truly need to know. It also means you discuss a learner's performance in a private, professional setting, not out in the hallway. It's all about building and keeping that trust.
So we've covered the process, but what about the person who's actually running it? What does it really take to be a top-notch professional assessor?
Well, here's the thing. Being a professional assessor isn't a one-and-done deal. It's a continuous journey.
It all starts with a solid foundation of knowing and following the rules. Then it's about committing to fairness in every single assessment. And it involves this constant cycle of looking at your own work, reflecting on it, and always learning through what's called continuing professional development, or CPD.
And that commitment to fairness, it is absolutely non-negotiable. It means creating an inclusive environment where every single person has a real, genuine shot at success. This could mean making what are called reasonable adjustments, like maybe providing materials in large print, or just simply valuing the diverse backgrounds that every person brings to the table.
This quote here really hits the nail on the head. It's all about reflective practice. The best assessors are always asking themselves, how did that go? What could I have done better? It's not about finding fault with yourself. It's about a deep, genuine commitment to getting better all the time, for yourself and for your learners.
So, when you bring it all together, you can see the assessor's journey is this complete cycle. You plan it, you do it, you review how it went, and then you use that knowledge to improve for the next time. It's this dynamic, always evolving process that's just dedicated to excellence.
And that really brings us to our final thought for today. We know for a fact that an assessment is designed to measure competence, but the real challenge, and honestly the mark of a truly great assessment process, is this: how can we make sure that while we're measuring competence, we're also actively building a learner's confidence for the incredible journey they have ahead?